Welcome to the Kawartha Small Business Podcast, where we believe that the Kawarthas can be the most thriving region in Canada for small business. I am Brian Rump from Profit Coach,
And I'm Matt Garrity of Matty G Digital.
and this is obviously the Kawartha Small Business Podcast. Our sponsor today is Starting Point Digital Marketing. Your business deserves to have digital marketing. You know you need to be there. So Starting Point helps you get started. It's as simple as that. Check them out at startingpointdigitalmarketing.ca. All right, today we are in full summer mode and we are talking about patios
Yes.
and how patios are important to small business. I think it'll be pretty cool to see how this shapes out because I think patios are awesome. And yeah, let's talk about some patios.
We've had a nice run of fun summer topics that I didn't think were going to be valuable. We actually had like really good business conversations. Coffee was great. French fries was good. And I shouted in excitement when you said patios because, as is the trend of late, I've come with zero preparedness. I had no idea what we were talking about today. And when you said patios, I jumped for joy. This is a good one. This is an easy one.
Yeah,
I'll give you another Brian. Like, hey, we're going to talk about the economics of.
economics of patios, my friend. Um, Yesterday, I was teaching microeconomics, and we were talking about monopolistic competition, which is the type of market that basically every small business is in. And one of the ways to compete in that market, actually, the only way to really compete is differentiation, which is part marketing, but also how you differentiate yourself. And I think patios are a great way to differentiate your vibe, your business, what you offer. I wasn't planning on saying this last sentence, but since you got the dig of economics in there and marketing, we turn every topic into marketing and economics. Patios is no different. So, yeah, tell me some of your favorite patios, or what do you like in a patio
Oh, what I
experience?
like in a patio? It's hard to find, but I like to be near water, near green space. I don't want to always overlook pavement in a parking lot, a road. A road's a little bit different. It can be okay. Like if you're in a busy area like Lindsay downtown, Peterborough downtown, that's kind of fun. Also, you know what though? Like the Fenland, like on Murphy's patio, the brewery there, like those are nice patios. It's lively. It's a different scene though. That's
Yeah,
the thing that me and you I think love about Fenland. It's everything. When you get down there, all like along the water, you get the green space, you get the water, you get the boats. I sound like an old man. I get excited about looking at boats.
I know we're at that age.
And like, but also with them, like you have all the traffic and the people walking by, and like there's cool cars driving around because it's like a vacation destination or whatever. I do like some green space, but what about you?
I think I'm not a big patio person in general. I don't like being in the sun. I don't like when it's hot. It's sort of my personal nightmare to be, sitting out on the street on like a bistro table and the pavement. But I appreciate that there's people who love that. And that's what I think is cool about this is depending on your business, your location, your strategy, there's different patio vibes that
Mm.
can exist. So I also like sort of water, green space. I like a quieter patio, which again, from a business standpoint, you probably want to pack people in as much as possible, if rules allow. But it really does depend. Recently I had a great patio experience at the Only in Peterborough, and they have a patio that's like it's urban. They've got some vines and green stuff growing. They have a creek that flows through them, so it's almost like an alley by a creek in town, but it makes it almost like a quiet oasis, which is a nice spot to be. Um, there is sort of I call it sort of the Montreal vibe. Like when you go to Montreal, like
Yeah,
cafes, you're outside. Yeah, you're on the sidewalk in the street, but that's kind of nice too.
true. Yeah, Peterborough has a bit of that vibe, or they did have it this summer on Hunter Street, with that street being expanded for patios. And I think that was a great idea. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me. Maybe people that live down there in that area or want to drive and park often. I think it's a great idea. I think that should be like that every single summer. They should block off the street and have Hunter Street and whatever other street open to patios like that. It was a cool scene. It was like a big city scene, something you'd see. I want to say Toronto, but no, it's Montreal. You're right. Old
Yeah,
cobblestone, old Montreal downtown. I loved that. I would love, like, what would be a great location for that? That would actually feel a tiny bit like old Montreal, like literally just because of the patio, like the new not cobblestone, but the new brickwork. Lindsay downtown would be great to have some like extended patio areas there, like because
oh yeah,
they've extended that walkway. It's not just gravel or pavement or what was it, stone. Now it's like really nice hardscaping brick that's there. That would look really nice with some extended patios. Um, that would be a great location to extend and like close some streets down a little bit. That's going to make a lot of people mad, but
yeah. I think it's part of the plan for Lindsay downtown is to be able to have that. I think even the Fenland downtown, people are mad. I think the construction there, the street is narrower, but the sidewalks are wider, which is,
yeah,
I
it's
think,
great.
awesome. And it allows you that opportunity to have a good patio space.
I was literally talking to someone. What time is it? I want to say less than 2 hours ago about this, like the patio situation and extending it in Lindsay downtown. And not the concern, but like the quote unquote problem is that there's actually not enough restaurants downtown. And it might
Yeah,
not benefit enough of them down there. So Pie and Monk's got their own thing. Like I love that back patio that they've got. They've got a really nice patio kind of on the inside, like near the entrance of the building and then along the walkway. But then they took up a bunch of the parking spaces back there. And I know people were upset about that. I love it. It's such a cool vibe there. I hope they continue to do that. But then you also have Olympia, Ponte Vino. I'm sure I'm missing others for sit down, and I'm sorry in the evening time. But there needs to be more restaurants down there.
yeah,
It needs
yeah.
to be
You
more like
need that.
Hunter.
Yeah, you need the critical mass so that you can get a spot. You and I had a great patio dinner a few weeks ago in Fenland, but all the restaurants were full. So we had some slices and scoops pizza in the park, which turned out to be a great evening and a great vibe, but there just wasn't enough seats. So it's going to probably discourage people, to, um, show up and try to find a restaurant. So the more you have in those busy times, just the more people you can accommodate.
Yeah, and Finland probably needs more restaurants too, right? They've got like two great sit down spots right on the water, which I like, which is also very rare too, if you think about it. Like, again, you've got Murphy's, you've got the brewery, you can go into Slices and Scoops and then go elsewhere, but you're all right along the water there. There needs to maybe be some more sit down restaurants there. And maybe I'm speaking incorrectly because I'm thinking of COVID, and maybe there's more. Like I don't know the Thai place's name, the Italian place. I don't remember their name, but
And Zeraldo's, they have a great patio too, actually in the sort of side yard.
yeah,
It's a wonderful spot there.
yeah, that would be cool. Like I've seen that where like there's trees there too, isn't there? Or like it's actually
Yeah,
it kind of looks like it's between two houses, which sounds weird, but it looks like quite charming in there.
yeah, yeah, it definitely is. And I think, again, more patios is great. We have, it adds a different summer flair. What's cool about it is there's so many good ones, you can try different ones. So having those options, I think, really helps, for customers, making them unique somehow to the location you have is also really fascinating. You went to a few weeks ago. We talked about it before, the Rare restaurant, and the pictures. I've only seen the Instagram pictures of their patio, but looked like they did an amazing job with like a spot in the alley and turned it into just a nice vibe as
Yeah,
much as they could.
they did a very good job of kind of adapting to the situation of COVID. I don't know. I don't think that that place has a patio regularly, is my guess.
No, I don't think it does.
But it was nice. They had a couple tents up. I think they had like twinkle lights. They had like a nice little background in one area. They did a good job adapting to it. Now, that restaurant was phenomenal. It was so good. The one I was thinking of that I've not been to, I think it's on the locks. Is that the
Oh
one in
yeah,
Pentland that overlooks, I guess, the locks? And it's almost like on a cliff, for lack of a better
yeah.
word.
That's the locker you're thinking of. I think
Okay.
on the locks now is downtown. They have a little back patio in the back parking lot, but you're
Oh, yeah.
thinking of the locker, which used to be called Falls View for a lot of
Okay.
years. And yeah, like it's a great view of the falls in Fetland.
Yeah. Shout out on the locks very quickly. The best, hands down, the best breakfast poutine I've ever had. Maybe the best breakfast meal I've ever had. It could be the best poutine I've ever had. Their breakfast poutine. But that's a different episode. The lock looks really cool. I've always wanted to go there because, like you said, it looks overlooks the falls, which I think would be like just a really cool spot to go and hang out at.
Yeah, yeah, it's doing well, but yeah, like it's just neat from the business standpoint. How you can differentiate, create that vibe for you. Get some pictures up there on your social media and marketing to show people you have these great patios. Set up different types of vibes for people who love the sun, the people who don't like the sun. Like,
Yeah.
have some shady areas, some not shady areas. Um, I think it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I think there's a big opportunity for every business with a patio. Um, from thinking back on something that we chatted about months ago, maybe personally, I think, not on the podcast, but people don't go to restaurants for the food, period, right? They go for an experience. They
Yeah,
want like to be treated really nicely. They want to be served. They want good food. They want food that they can't get at the grocery store or make at home. They want like great ambiance and aesthetics and like comfortable, cool place to go and hang out at. They don't want just the food. And I think a patio is and could be a very, very, very big part of that for most people. Um, and I know that there's like logistics, maybe insurance issues that I don't know about. Because, yeah, with the patio, you only get X amount of weekends or really weeks a year. However, the coolest thing I've seen patio wise was at the Boston Pizza in Peterborough. I don't know if there's more than one of them, but they clearly spent a lot of money on that outdoor patio and they like insulated it and added a ton of heaters. And I'm looking at this like it's a structure. It's like an outdoor sitting room at this point. I was looking at it and I asked the manager when he walked by, I'm like, how long are you going to have people in there? Like you could have people sitting on the patio in the snow because it's fully covered, fully insulated and heated. He's like, we're going to do it year round. So like, yeah, they spent a lot of money, but now they've created a vibe. Because how cool would it be, like around December or any time in the year where it's snowing and people hate winter and the cold, but the snow is beautiful. Winter is a very beautiful season. But how cool would it be to like sit outside on a patio, be warm as anything because of like a fully covered patio and just like see the snow all around you while you're eating at a Boston Pizza or any restaurant. Like that's
Oh
a
yeah.
cool experience. That's a cool vibe. That would make me want to go there. As I'm talking about this, I'm like, dude, I want to drive to Peterborough to go to Boston Pizza in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's awesome. And I think it helps even if, in the super cold, maybe it doesn't work or it's not that warm, but you could have like an afternoon for people who've been out doing activities all day, right? And you might want to, come hang out there at, sort of like kind of the hunting camp or the après ski type of vibe you can create. So there's those opportunities to do that. And we are challenged with short seasons um, in general, which I think is all the more reason to market and really fill those patios as much as you can in those good days, because it is the up and down nature of the business. You can't control when it's going to rain. So you want to make sure that when it is nice, there are people in those seats on the patio every possible minute you can.
Yeah. I'm glad you said marketing first because I was literally just about to go there. And I'm glad that you bailed me out, me being able
Yeah,
to say it as per usual. But I don't know. Maybe people complain that the summer season is too short for some of these locations, Fenland, Bobcaygeon. There's seasonality. We don't get people in the winter. Maybe you don't get people in the winter because you're not telling them of a great experience to take advantage of in Fenland, wherever, in general.
yeah,
And like, we're not in the city, like a big, booming urban city. We're in an area where people are on four wheelers, people are on snowmobiles, people go snowshoeing, skiing, etc. Like, we're used to the cold up here. We do activities up here in the cold. We thrive up here in the winter. Like, we have an opportunity to promote and market good experiences in the winter. How cool would that be? I've never been on a snowmobile in my life, but let's pretend that I had been. And I'm like, man, having such a great time on the snowmobile. Now I'm done and I want to go eat somewhere. I don't particularly need to go inside. I just want to be somewhere that's warm and really comfortable. How cool would it be if you sat on an outdoor patio and the snow's coming down? And that's an amazing experience that you'll not forget for the whole year.
oh yeah. I'm just brainstorming here. It's be neat to see people try out some stuff like that. But even like adapting your menu to it, like
Yeah,
you get like a nice bowl of stew or something you can just eat sitting wherever. Like
love
you're
it.
not going to order something that gets cold fast and not good, but you can, I've done a lot of winter camping, and I just think of, you could elevate a lot of our my camp meals that just are awesome when you're outside. You get some, hot drinks. Like
Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome. Stews, great idea. Chili, whatever. Even
I
just
feel like we should partner with. So if you're listening to this and own a restaurant and you want to try out the winter patio, maybe let us help
yeah.
figure out and test out if it's a good idea. Like,
Well,
uh,
and like I'm not gonna, I will not hurt myself patting ourselves on the back. But like this is what we love to talk about, you and I. It's not innovation or anything like that. And like I'm an idiot. I don't know anything about restaurants. I've never worked in a restaurant. I've never owned one. I'm not gonna own one ever. I'm never even gonna think about it. But I would love to sit there with a restaurant owner and be like, what about this idea? What about this experience? Like, how do we make this work? I know it will work, especially if you tell people about it. It will come. Like they'll show up. But I also too would love to just sit down. Let's start a business right now. Well, we're gonna start like a patio advocacy company. You can hire us. We will come to your business. We will advise what you can build for a patio and what the experience will be like, and we will help you get there.
awesome. I like it. The patio advocacy, which reminds me, we need some advocacy because during COVID, a lot of the patio rules have been relaxed,
Yeah.
which I think should just be permanent because I know there's rules about like liquor license and where your patio can be, and the world hasn't burned down with the relaxed rules of where they are. Everything's better. I've noticed just better patio vibes last summer and this summer. Like, please, government, just like make that permanent. Like, let's not hassle people as much. Like, let's have these patios and outdoor spaces. And, I think it's good for business. It's good for consumers.
Yeah.
And it's good for other businesses nearby.
Yeah, I've been on like 3 patios in the last month, and I think every time I've asked my wife, was it always this fun? Like, was it always like this? Because it's so lively. People are happy, sun, like you're outside or in the evening or whatever. And I'm like, was it always this fun? Or is this like COVID? People are out again and they're happy and they're congregating. And like, is that why everything when you go out now is so fantastic and like, so,
Yeah.
so good to be alive and out there? But like, I think back, like patios were always the thing from when I was gonna say a kid. We never sat on a patio when I was a kid because my parents there's no air conditioning on patios, right? But like
Yeah.
when you're a teenager and you're going out with your friends or in your 20s, like it was patio or bust. Like if the patio was closed in the summer, you might not even go to that restaurant.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and I'm haven't been a patio person. Just again, I like air conditioning or whatever. But if it's the right vibe, I'm always like, oh, I should sit on the patio more often.
Yeah.
Or just having a few shade options is good. But just in general, I think it's good to have people out enjoying themselves, having a good time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like you. I hate being in the sun. I love the idea of the sun. Like put me in the shade and I like to look at the sun around me. I it is a nightmare when I get caught in the sun. I got caught in the sun in a patio last Friday and I just wanted to melt. It was the worst thing ever. It was a great experience. It was a wonderful experience. It was so awesome. But I never thought about it because I hadn't been out too many times, like during the day on a patio, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the sun again. This is terrible."
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Any other thoughts on patios and small business? I think we've linked it to economics. We've linked it to marketing. We've given some free business ideas for our winter patio ideas. We've offered to be your patio advocates.
Yeah, this
It's been
episode's been great. It started with me not knowing what we're talking about, and then ended with us starting a new business. So please
awesome.
reach out to us if you want help setting up an amazing patio experience for your restaurant. We will not do the design. We will not do the installation. We will not do anything other than advise and advocate for it and help you through this great time. But please call us.
And then we'll be customers. So if
Yes.
you want to do that, or you have any other comments, you want to reach out to us, the email is setitup@kawarthasmallbusinesspodcast.ca.